Welcome back to another exciting episode of the Spitball Media Podcast. We're going to spit out a ton of cool entertainment stories, watch a few trailers, kick it around a little bit. We're going to kick the tires. We're going to check your oil. We're going to have oodles and oodles of fun. My name is John Draper. Joining me is the king of Ohio. Most people don't know it's a fiefdom, Ohio. His name is Bish O'Brien.
What's that? That was almost Conrad-esque on the end of that.
I haven't done Conrad in a long time.
It's funny you mentioned that. I was going deep in the Wrestling Soup Vault on their
Oh,
Patreon.
God.
I've been listening to some of the good old days, 2018-19 shit.
Wow, that was the glory days right there.
I know, man. It was good. But no, glad to be with you guys tonight.
Yes, Shaheen is on assignment, so he would not join us tonight. He sends his apologies, and obviously, we will miss him. But we got an action-packed fucking show. Tons of stuff we want to get to. But please, if you haven't already, consider going to Patreon, the old patreon.com /spitballmedia. $5. That's like gas to get you to the corner and back in most places, especially if you live in the West Coast. You get countless hours of exclusive content going back to our Break the Apocalypse days during the COVID years. And of course, every Spitball Media, every bonus show, especially the Q&A show, which we're bringing back in March, B-Show. You get it all for that $5, don't you, B-Show, Brian?
That is the most affordable programming package in all of podcasting. Like you said, Q&As, which are fucking fire every single time we do them. We do hangouts around the holidays, which is fun. And I'm looking at ways to try to expand the watch-alongs so that more people can join us if they want to.
Mm-hmm.
And I might even try to share the videos on the Patreon if I can get away with it. But we'll talk more about that another time.
So please consider going to patreon.com /spitballmedia. Tons of cool people chilling in there, having these lights turned on, keeping the old lights on in the place since day zero. That's patreon.com /spitballmedia. So we have a ton of entertainment news and some cool trailers that came out in the last couple of days. But B-Show, who's hanging out in the old chat room live?
Well, we got quite a few friends starting to file in. We got Slave Cheeks. We got John JLD 999. We got Hey Now Rich Dow.
Hey now, Rich Dow.
I was a little low on that one. I was trying to.
Hey now. Well, you got a cold. You can tell you got a cold.
I love having a cold only for the reason that it deepens my voice.
I love that. I wish I could keep that voice forever, but not everything else.
I know. We got Joe Punches.
The Punchster.
We got Donald Stoney Esquire.
The Don Stoney Esquire.
AEW Neckbeards.
Good friend of the show, AEW Beard of the Neck.
We got one of them Bayou Geeks.
Oh, them Bayou Geek, them boys in the Bayou Geeks be in there right now.
Yeah, man. Kepco TV.
The old friend there, Kepco TV. We go back.
Terrell T.
Another old friend that we go back with. Jesus Christ.
And if you're filing in and I missed you, then sorry. But
yeah,
say hey.
You know, it's funny. I'm drinking a can of seltzer, and I feel like it looks very small in my hand.
You got the Andre the Giant beer can effect?
Yeah, like, I'm going to have 40 of these and then shit my pants. Like, it looks so small.
I know.
I'm not that big a dude. B-Show's way bigger than I am.
But you have like long arms. And
I do.
If you have big hands, you almost look Hulkish, like with them, almost like mallets.
I do. I have a very strange body. Like my arms come down past my knees, and no one knows why. For like a 6-foot tall guy, I literally, I could close a door in another room right now, like Reed Richards, like if I really wanted to. But yeah, this can. I noticed. I was like, this looks like this looks kind of small. Like, look at the camera. Well,
where you drink 136 seltzers? Is that your?
No wonder why I pee 80 times a night now. Jesus Christ! Yeah, I got giant fucking hands, dude. You look at the sizes. Good Lord, like a sleeve.
Your wedding ring is a weightlifting belt.
Yes, my wedding ring is made out of concrete. It's like I'm not that big of a dude. Like, I'm really not. I think I'm maybe about a deuce right now. Like maybe a deuce. That's not, deuce 195. I usually, like when we did the thing, what was it, a bunch of years ago, we hung out for that reunion show.
Yeah.
I was probably about 180. And then when I did the soup thing a couple years prior, I was 170. And I'm looking at myself and I'm like, how was I 170 pounds? Like, I was punishing myself to be 170 pounds.
Oh, God, this is so weird. This is one of those, like, the universe is fake and we live in the Truman Show type of things. The episode I was listening to on the way home from work today
Hmm.
You were talking to Joe about how you were running like 9 miles a day,
Oh, I got up to almost 12. Yeah, so that wasn't even my peak. Yeah.
100 calories. I think that's how you got that.
Yeah, it was 700 Yeah, I was burning like 700, and I was running like 9 miles in an hour. I
Yeah.
like I would come back like 65 minutes later, and my wife would be like, "Well, how did you do that?" I was like, "Oh yeah, 9.20 today in an hour." And she was like, How do you do?" I was like, "I don't know. I feel like somebody's chasing me. I just feel like the whole time if I don't stop, you know." But those days are over. Now I'm just a guy in his early 50s, who wears cardigans all year round, and complains about the weather. But we have an action-packed show. I'm sorry Shah's not here because I have all this goodness going
Mhm.
on here. I love that everybody's putting their like statistics in the fucking chat,
Joe
like we're gonna have a
Punches,
fight.
5'10", 171, all ass and
All
cock.
kind, yeah, no, oh yeah, dude. If you met me at that soup when we did the in person for Mania, I was maybe 170 pounds, and I like you could see the bones like through my shirt, like it was just like it was.
Was it like Freddy in part 4 where there's like demon people trying to peer out from your ribs and shit, or
It was really like I remember I was changing like at one point in front of my wife, and she was like, "You really need to start eating more," and I'm like, but I eat so much. She was like, "No, you really don't. You really, really don't."
I
Uh,
haven't had that necessarily, but I've lost like 30, 40 pounds over the past year.
Yeah, you lost a ton of weight in the
And
last 6 months.
my wife walked up to me the one day and she went to give me a hug. And it was like the incredible shrinking man. She gives me a hug and then she like cinches in
She did that,
and then
yeah,
she
like, with
cinches
the
in again and
suction
she
shit,
looks
yeah,
up at me like she actually asked me if I was sick. She was like, "Are you
yeah,
sure you shouldn't go to the doctor?" I'm like, "I think I'm okay."
yeah, yeah, no, I mean, and that's the thing too, because now I'm getting older, so everything's just your body's just completely changing,
Mhm.
and, like, my wife is kinda going through this too, where it's like, you didn't do anything different, but you look completely different, and you're like, you don't know what else to do, and it's like, well, that's gravity, and that's life.
It's like a
Uh,
Twilight Zone episode, man.
yeah. Oh, we got Chris Matthews in there, Backwards Baron
Hmm.
Corbin's in there.
I would be
Uh,
so happy if backwards Baron Corbin like ended up actually being the Baron Corbin.
oh, that would be he's upset with, Numbers. He still, I think, has beef with Joe Numbers.
It's from back in the day, really?
Oh yeah,
Oh
dude, we
man.
still have beef there. It's ridiculous.
Ugh.
Dude. By the way, the other day was 6 years ago where I got into the fight with Bully Ray over you. That was 6 years ago.
Sorry.
Now he loves me. Oh, dude, he loves me. I'm like his go-to guy now, and I'm like, I know he knows that's me,
Yeah.
but I guess like that's his way of recompense. So I'm not gonna make a thing of it. You
Well,
know what
what's
I
weird,
mean?
man, is I've noticed lately, not only I thought hell froze over when you guys were kind of like
Oh yeah, we're like
agreeing and
best friends. Yeah,
shit.
like we make jokes like we're best friends, and I'm
But
like,
then
oh,
I'm starting to like even I'm starting to agree with the guy. And it's
well,
like the
it's
longer
funny.
you're around, the like I guess the more like you become, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, I like I'm too I'm too old to carry grievance. It's just I don't have enough time left on the earth. Like I was mad, you were a dick, I was a dick. That was like a long time ago. If you're
Well, and it
still
was
mad
my
about it,
fault anyway. Like I've thought
it wasn't
about that
your
a
fault.
lot.
I don't think so.
Well, no, hang on. I'm not saying he wasn't being a dick. I'm saying I on Twitter as just some wrestling fan was saying dickish things and then got called out. The
Millions of people
initial
do that though.
I understand. I'm saying I forgive the initial call out, but
I don't remember
taking
any of
it
that.
on for like 2 days straight was
The
enough.
best was B show was that he found a picture of me that I posted of myself when I was like almost 300 pounds, as if that's what I looked like
I
now.
know. Yeah.
And I'm like a marathon runner, dude. Like, yeah, my teeth are jacked up, but I literally wear a size 30 pants. Like, what do you I was a 42 in this picture. Like I posted that picture to make fun of myself.
I
It was
know.
just so like lame. You
Well,
know
but
what I
it's
mean?
like that and looking back, and I did part of the solo show I dropped just talking about just how not
Yes, you
fun
did just
social
drop a
media
solo show.
is.
Some people mentioned it in the chat.
Yeah, thank you guys for checking that out. Been getting some good
Yeah, I gotta listen to
feedback.
it this weekend. Oh,
But it's like part of it was just like social media just isn't fun anymore. And
yeah.
it's a drag and like I know you get great engagement and I wish I just had the patience for it, but like I lose the will to even post when I'm halfway through tweeting half the time and I just give up.
I'm on the brink of being done with that completely because if I'm going to do anything outside of this, it's not going to be that. That's just on. I have this idea where I want to just talk about like New York and like hardcore and I'm comfortable enough to tell some stories about some people that I don't think they'll have me killed. And like I'm certainly never going to do that here. So there's a person that I have like a relationship with online who has a very similar background to me. And I was like, I don't see a lot of people in music doing these kind of shows. And I was like, well, the only way I would ever do that is if it didn't affect what I was doing here and I didn't talk about wrestling anymore. So I don't know if that day is going to come, but that I had already talked to this person about it. And I was like, I know I get a lot of engagement from the wrestling, but I don't, it's not, I don't like the product enough to make it a thing.
Yeah.
Whereas if you want to talk about, going to Coney Island High or the Limelight in the 90s, like it blow your fucking mind, or having sex with a girl in the telephone bar on Second Avenue in the middle of the night. I'm like, I'm your guy, like or like hanging out with a lot of like cool people and hanging out with Pantera, and it's just like I would rather do that than be like, boy, the WWE, blah, blah. It's like everybody's doing that shit. And everybody's
Uh-huh.
so, it's like the same, it's like Groundhog's Day. The same people that were mad at me 6 years ago about this shit are mad at me today. Same people who liked me 6 years ago, 9 years ago, mad about, like 9 years ago today, my kid met Bailey at the NXT tour for her 11th birthday,
Mhm.
and it's just like, yeah, that was a lot of fun, but I don't really have that energy for that anymore. But we're getting off track. But we have a ton of stuff to get to. Please consider going to patreon.com/spitballmedia. And can everybody stop posting their height and weight? This is starting to feel like Grinder in here. But yeah, I was like, I'm gonna, I'm looking to do like just a full on music, old school New York, talking about CBGB's, Lemoore, the Cat Club, fucking the Wetlands, fucking the Coney Island High, the fucking Palladium, the Roseland Ballroom. I don't see people talk about that shit, and this segues into something we're going to talk about in the post about the nightclub situation in the world being almost non-existent. So I just think that'd be a fun thing to talk about. But I want to bring this up immediately. So last week we did a deeper dive on Captain America: Brave New World. And there was speculation it was going to do about 90 something million, and it was getting very bad reviews. It was like in the 50s for the critics in the early screenings. And I said I was going to go check it out, but I didn't have high hopes. I thought it would be a bad movie. And I went and saw it. I saw it Saturday. I saw it in a giant theater with very few people, mostly older men. And I have to say, I did not hate the movie, but I didn't love it. It was okay. It was just okay. I felt that the plot was very choppy. I could see that they probably had these characters that were in the film that all the backstories are gone, completely gone. Um,
Really?
oh, gone, completely gone. You see the main villain in the first 5 minutes with no preamble whatsoever. He's Sidewinder from Serpent, and then there's Copperhead, like the Serpent Society, which was a big Captain America villain. They're not in the costumes and they're not snake people, but Giancarlo Esposito's character, who's the principal villain, who is a supposedly principal villain, but I don't want to ruin the movie, people. No backstory, just none. Captain America's going to save some people with that annoying sidekick, this underdeveloped character named Joaquin, that was apparently from the TV show that I thought was pretty terrible, with a terrible villain in that TV show. I'll say this about it, B. It's not bad. I'm a fan of. I've always loved Falcon when he was Black Falcon in the comics when I was a child. I loved when he became Cap. I love the costume that's literally pulled from the comic books. I remember Red Hulk debuting in the late New Avengers when I saw it in my store. Which is a pretty cool thing to see. But the movie B show did almost $200 million, 100 million domestically.
Yeah, according to Screen Time on X, Captain America: Brave New World opens to 192 million at the worldwide box office. Question for someone like me who is not super familiar with the comics, who kind of knows some of this shit from either having the toys or watching cartoons when I was a kid.
Yeah.
Would I be able to would I be as upset as you are not knowing the backstory of half these
Well,
people?
well, here's the thing. I knew the backstory, but I didn't. They knew the backstory for the sidekick character because I watched the TV show. If you didn't see the TV show, you're like, who the fuck is this guy and why is he in Falcon's costume? And even
Mhm.
then, he wasn't really that fleshed out. But now you have this woman who clearly is Israeli, but they don't want to say she's actually Israeli because they're afraid that it's going to
Right.
offend people, which is so fucking disgusting. I can't even don't even get me on this fucking path. But she is supposed to be Sabra, who is the Israeli superhero character. They completely whitewashed over that and made her a Black Widow character. By the way, she's 78 pounds and 4'4". And she's beating up men like literally like the size of a Baron Corbin, with no understanding as she's able to do this. We don't know her backstory at all. They just talk about her in an ancillary way, but she's in most of the movie. It's very odd that they made these decisions. It's if you have been following the MCU and you followed that TV show, then you knew a little bit about some of this. But to go and cold off the movies, like, okay, you might not have known that Sam. You should know from Endgame that Sam was getting the costume. I mean, that that's it was an Endgame. Um, but Drew Yari saying Harrison Ford was great. He was great. He was working his ass off in this fucking movie. Drew is also saying it felt more like a Hulk sequel. Yes. So basically, B show the Hulk movie with Edward Norton is now canon.
Oh, geez.
Well, not only is it canon, the villain is from that. Like
So
the villain is from the Edward Norton, which was not part of the MCU.
right.
That is canon. Everything that happened in that movie is canon. William Hurt is dead, so Harrison Ford is playing that character. They bring back Steven Tyler's daughter to be Betty Ross,
Oh,
who was
wow.
only in that one movie fucking 15 years ago,
God, I
16
love
years ago.
her.
Yeah, she's gorgeous. She's aging
Liv
perfectly.
Tyler. Yeah.
Liv Tyler. She's aging perfectly, by the way.
Nice.
They mentioned the fight in Harlem, where they destroyed Harlem as a catalyst for doing all these other things. And the character that would have been leader in that, I'm just gonna spoil. I'm sorry, the movie's out. Is the villain in this? Like, and it's so it's very strange. Like, it's very very odd. It was all to get you to have that Red Hulk fight. The other thing is Sam Wilson now can take down beat anybody. Where he's really like a B-level superhero. He now has Wakandan adamantium wings and everything. So that's why he's able to do all these things which he wasn't able to do before. Yeah.
Wow.
So yeah, which is
This
cool.
sounds like how I
Don
felt
Stoney's like, bring Cliff Notes for this one. Yeah, it does. But I'm just saying, like, you should. I feel bad for people that don't know all this shit, that didn't maybe see the Edward Norton Hulk or don't remember it from 16 years ago.
Yeah,
Or
I watched it. I don't remember a fucking thing about it.
yeah, John JLD is saying this doesn't sound fun. It looks okay. It's not terrible. It's not a terrible movie. I would say, as far as this level of the MCU, this is one of the better ones, absolutely. But I love Captain America. I love Sam Wilson. I love Winter Soldier. Like, I remember Winter Soldier debuting was a big fucking deal in my life with the comics. Anthony Mackie does a good job. I think he does a fine job, but he's getting the best of a lot of people without a lot of pushback. He's taken down airplanes, and I'm just like, I don't know, man. Like, that was a little bit that bothered me. But I enjoyed it for what it was. Like, I wasn't like angry or whatever like that. I stuck around for the post-credit scene. It was just okay.
See,
Honestly, I
like,
would take a kid to see it because it's a fun movie.
I'm sure he'll like it, but like, I don't know. It reminds me the way you're talking about it of like the later Star Wars movies, where it's like, oh, Rey can just blow up a plane. Oh, she just knows how to fly. Oh, she can like turn Palpatine's electricity back on him, and it's like,
Yeah.
but like, where's the journey? Where's the story?
There's no
Where's the struggle?
they
You know?
they reshot and ripped this movie up so badly because what they had in there originally was probably too dense, and the early screeners didn't like it, and they definitely fucked with this Israeli girl. And I know who this girl is because she was in a very good TV show, an Israeli TV show. Because I watch Israeli television because my wife's a Jew, so I watch a lot of Israel, and I like a lot of Israeli TV. For a Christian guy, but I know this girl. She was in a phenomenal TV show. She's a phenomenal actress. She should not have been cast like this. They should have got a more fit IDF looking girl. This girl is not even B show. I would say she's 80 pounds. When she's walking next to Sam Wilson, it's like it's literally like somebody meeting a leprechaun and they're going to get coffee together.
Jesus, what's her name?
And I can't pronounce. She's got a very Israeli heavy name. She's
Oh,
one of the
sorry.
few. But they made her like, oh, she's a Black Widow character. She's a widow, and it's like, she was supposed to be the first Israeli superhero, but okay. Seth Rollins was cut from the movie. Chris Matthews, yeah, I can't imagine who he played. He probably played somebody in the Serpent Society. They also had D-Man, which is only Marvel people will know in this movie, just as a regular guy. They had Copperhead, who was a big Captain America villain.
I remember
Regular
that name.
guy. regular guy. Sidewinder, regular guy.
Wait, so who wrote this? Okay, these are
I
all
don't know.
things
Not
going off my
comic
head.
people. Not comic people.
That's what I'm saying. These movies, like I said, the Star Wars ones, a lot of the Marvel ones now, they seem like bad fan fiction written by cat ladies who've never watched these
These are not
movies.
comic book people.
That's what I'm saying. It's like you're picking and choosing what you're using from the universe, but
Yeah.
without the context of what makes those characters special, or without giving them the weight of emotional hook.
Sam has a bit of a journey. I like Anthony Mackie. I've seen this character now in 10 fucking movies. Of course I love Falcon. And by the way, I was a big fan when he was just regular Falcon in the Captain America comic books. You know, I like him. I love him as Cap. I love Bucky as Cap. Bucky as
Yeah, I
Cap
don't
is
mind him
my
as
favorite
Cap
Cap.
either. I don't mind him as Cap. I don't know why people were so mad about that. It made sense giving Captain America's end in Endgame. He went back to the fucking
Yeah,
30s
for
or whatever
people,
it was.
I'm sorry if I ruined the movie a little bit, but D-Man is in the movie. That's all I'm gonna say. The Easter eggs are few, but by the way, B show, big breakthrough in this movie that I actually said I had a oh fuck moment when I was eating my popcorn in this empty movie theater. The discovery of adamantium, which can mean only one thing. Yeah,
Jesus Christ.
yeah. Like,
We're such fucking nerds. I
but
love
this
it.
is a big deal. Like I popped when they said that. This
Yeah.
is what the tenet they were like. Vibranium used to be the thing. We just discovered adamantium,
So
and
do you
now
think this is okay? I get it, Harrison Ford, Red Hulk. They're at least trying new shit that hasn't been seen on a big screen yet, right?
yeah.
Um, would you think this was just an excuse to start introducing the X-Men or Wolverine
Well,
or
it's
all that
set up
stuff?
Secret Wars. The Secret Wars.
Okay,
It's
okay,
setting
that
that up,
makes
which is
sense
great,
then.
and I'm excited for that. By the way, D-Man is the soldier Denny Donahue, whatever, who is friends with Sam. He's like a soldier. That's D-Man, by the way. And Harrison Ford was great. Yeah, Drew Yari said when Harrison Ford starts talking about adamantium, yeah, my nipples got a little hard. They got a little hard when he started. This is nerd fucking boner shit, you know?
Mhm.
This is nerd boner
Ah,
shit.
could you imagine Harrison Ford in like his late 80s, early 90s when he was old and seasoned, but still young enough to like go? If like
Yeah.
when he did Sam Shepard in The Fucking Fugitive, like if he would have
Yeah.
done a really cool character in the
He
Marvel
was good,
universe.
B show. He was like honestly, like he was not fucking around. Like he was like taking this, you could tell. And I like Mackie. Bucky has a little cameo in there. But boy, I mean, please get comic. Why can't you just have comic people write this? I just don't fucking understand. You know, I marked out for the adamantium big. Like I marked yo, I was like, yo, like that. I was like, oh, adamantium. And I'm like, oh my God, did people hear me say that? Like, you know, listen, I would check it out. I'm dead ass serious because the fights are fun. The fight with the Hulk is pretty dope. It's a dope fight. I think they should have made Anthony Mackie get his ass kicked a lot more to humanize him a little bit, you know. And this sidekick character is utterly fucking useless,
Mm.
utterly fucking useless. And this Israeli girl who they're afraid to say is Israeli. Give me a fucking break,
Like,
man.
see,
I mean,
that's where all this identity politics shit goes off the rails. And where do you draw the line? Because, like, okay, you want a 4'4" tall chick kicking everyone's ass because women are tough and they can tough at all sizes and
yeah.
proud of yourself at all shapes. But we can't say she's Israeli because there's a lot of people that
They
are
they
mad at us
say
right
she's
now.
Israeli, but immediately segue into that she's a Black Widow, which is the
Uh,
safe because her character is Zabra, who is an Israeli superhero. She's the only
mhm.
Israeli fucking superhero. And they had her in there as that. They had her in there as that, and they got nervous, so they took it out and they reshaped it and put the Widow thing in there. And
Oh,
Giancarlo Esposito, there is no understanding where he came from, who's the Serpent Society, no explanation.
hmm.
Zero explanation. But I'm just saying, check it out for yourself. The fights are fun, and the Easter eggs that are in it, it's okay. Like the post credit scene, it's it's just setting up more shit. I did not hate it. I will not watch it again because it's not one of those kind of movies for me. But ironically, Winter Soldier was on one of my cable channels a lot this weekend. And I'm swear to God, dude, that movie's so fucking good. I just sit there and watch it for like 20 minutes every time. Like, oh yeah, that was good. Oh yeah, that was good. Like
Is that the one where they try to break him out because they're controlling him? Hydra's controlling
Bucky,
him.
yeah.
No,
That's
that's an
fucking great, dude.
awesome
It's like a
movie.
James Bond movie.
Yes.
It's a fucking James Bond movie. Speaking of James Bond, we have to talk about this. This is
Mhm.
huge news. A lot of feelings about this. The James Bond franchise is no more. It has been purchased exclusively going forward and catalog by Amazon. Amazon now owns the property. Be sure. What was the actual the press release?
According to Discussing Film, Amazon will officially gain creative control of the James Bond franchise in a new joint venture deal. Michael G. Wilson and Barbara Broccoli will remain co-owners of Bond, but are stepping back to focus on other projects.
Okay. So a lot of people had a lot to say about this today. Bisho, I know you had Bond in your family, like it was something that you were familiar with. I know Shah never really experienced that, but probably through your dad, I would imagine, like that was, Bond, because that's where I discovered it.
Yeah, we actually used to go when the not James, when the Pierce Brosnan movies were popular. We used to go around Christmas time, like the
Mm.
guys in the family, go watch James Bond.
Oh,
We
that's
used
so
to watch him
cool.
on TV all the time. My buddy Andy, shout out to him if he's listening. His dad used to run us Bond tapes like Octopussy, and like that's how I found
Oh,
out about
yeah.
Roger Moore and shit. So, uh, I want to hear what you have to say first, because
Well, listen, and Jim Palmiotti, the famous writer and comic artist for both DC and Marvel, who I actually know personally, but not like that. I met him. He was friends with my brother Mike. He came in my comic store. We hung out a little bit. Him and I talk online a little bit. He had something very interesting to say about this. He's about 10 years older than me, and he said, you know, something needed to be done with this franchise. The last movie was fucking terrible, and let's hope that they do something better with it. I agree. I enjoyed the Daniel Craig era, but boy, B show, did that start sliding down when that slide down. Like it was like Casino Royale was amazing. Like it had high parts and like Skyfall, and then it kind of went on started sliding down. And that last one was brutal. I was in that movie theater looking around going, I'm so glad my father's dead because he would have died in the movie theater watching this. So I agree something needs to be done. But what I think they're going to do is not what needs to be done. I think they're going to do what this sensibility of 2020 America or Europe thinks needs to be done, where they're going to shake this tree and completely change it from whatever it is. You just need to make Henry Cavill James Bond. How about that?
how about is Idris Elba too old now?
He might be a little too old to do a franchise around. Henry Cavill, he's cock diesel. He's not American. That will never let Americans be James Bond, like ever in the history of the universe. Never going to happen. He's cock diesel Australian guy. He's young enough that if you put him in like 5 of these movies in the next 15 years, he'll still look good. Make James Bond a cock diesel Jack Reacher type who is physically impressive and also has all these skills and uses the modern Mission Impossible kind of vibe. I don't know. They're saying Aaron Taylor Johnson is in line. I don't know. I like Henry Cavill. I think he got fucked out of Superman. I think he was a fine Superman. I want to see somebody like that. I don't want it to be somebody in a wheelchair. Like I just think that I'm scared of what they're going to do with Amazon. Put it that way. I'm
Yeah,
scared.
I mean, that's the big thing is like, look, I'll be honest. Albert Broccoli died probably just before, or just after the Daniel Craig James Bond. And since it went, I hate to say this, to his daughter Barbara, and she's been
Yeah,
kind of head producer of this shit. It hasn't since Casino Royale or maybe Skyfall, as you said, set the world on fire.
yeah,
Um, but Amazon owning it,
yeah.
Amazon. I'm trying to think of what other Amazon series that have been good have come out in the past couple
Invincible.
years.
Invincible is
But
tremendous.
that what are we gonna get? A new James Bond episode
Boys.
every 17 months?
No, I look. I mean, it's
Yeah.
James Bond. It has global appeal. I'm scared who they're going to make James Bond. I
Well, and
think.
here's the thing too, because like to me, and I know it's an old man thing, but to me, James Bond is like a classic gentleman spy who fucks
Yeah,
a lot, has cool
yeah,
gadgets. I don't know if that plays nowadays. So, like you said, go if you go Mission Impossible route, now are you going to alienate people who like the old James Bond, and is that going to work? Like, is it neither fish nor fowl, and does it have
right.
a place now? So
Yeah.
that's a
Well,
challenging
people
thing too.
look. John Wick should not have worked, and it worked beautifully. Right.
Yeah.
The Jack Reacher TV show should not have worked. It is one of the highest viewed things in the history of Amazon Prime, and that guy looks like a house with a house, with a haircut.
Mhm.
I've never seen a guy that large in my life. And like, you got John Cena taken very seriously in Hollywood. He's not the size he used to be, but I'm just saying, like, you could do this. You could do this. You could take it, in that direction. This shit seems to work for everybody else. I can't just be guys my age and your age keeping John Wick alive. That wouldn't survive, right?
No, women love John Wick, dude, because he's sexy.
He's 60 fucking years old, yo. Like he's 56 years old.
Doesn't
I
matter, dude. Women love.
But
He
it's the
has that
character
timeless
be like
look.
you do not
Well,
look.
I don't
We
know.
all check our brains and go, Keanu Reeves just killed 38 dudes bare hands, and we're totally okay with it. And we all love Keanu Reeves, but that's not the only reason why. Dude, if you watch Jack Reacher, this fucking guy beats people up through cars. He punches moving vehicles, and he looks like Colossus.
Yeah,
Like he
I'm starting to see previews for it now when I
Oh,
watch stuff on Amazon.
you'll blow your mind how much you love that show. You believe it. You believe
Mhm.
it. Make James Bond a believable ass kicking guy. Keep those attributes. Surround him with modern technology. People will really, really get into it. I
Give him
really
some
believe it.
bad bitches like that are
Yeah.
formidable against him or with him or
Yeah.
whatever.
Let him fuck a broad in a wheelchair, like, or something like that. He'll slow dance with her. He'll play basketball with her or something.
Oh my god.
Like I'm just saying, like, if you want to do some horse shit like that, fine.
But James
But
Bond has to infiltrate the WNBA and fuck Brittany
no,
Griner to
he's
find
like
the secrets of
murder
nuclear
ball,
war?
like the guys who play murder wheelchair
Oh,
rugby. Yes,
Jesus.
yeah, like that. Like,
But
I
he
can
has a
hang.
gadget wheelchair with rockets and fucking, Stinger missiles on him and shit.
Yeah. You can make ASAP Rocky do the theme if you want to. Like, I don't care about any of that shit. Just make James Bond somebody that I'm afraid of.
Oh,
That's what
fuck you, Baron Corbin. I love you, but Burt Kreischer is James Bond?
he's
Oh,
joking.
I know he is. I'm fucking
Yeah.
with him, but
So we don't know what's going to happen. There's a lot of people who feel like it's over for life. The GoldenEye, you
people were
know.
talking about it in the chat, and they said it's on Xbox, but if you have a Nintendo
Oh, look at
64,
that
you don't need
son of a
Xbox.
dude. You're like holding a pile of gold in your hand right there.
I know.
Like
It's
seriously,
amazing. It
it
feels
really is
like
the greatest.
electric sex too when
Dude,
you
like
turn it
like
on.
I just remember we would just cancel plans and just all get together and smoke weed and play GoldenEye.
Yeah.
Like children. And we were like late teens, like early 20s, like doing
Yeah.
that.
Dude,
But an interesting thing happened at the box office B show. The movie Hard Eyes, which we've all sort of acquiesced is probably a solid horror film. It's got good reviews. Did something that is so unprecedented this weekend. It made more money in its second weekend than it did in its opening weekend, which is unheard of in any, like, it's just completely unheard of. But that shows you the power of word of mouth. But it was sort of a minor story, but I actually thought this was incredible.
I'm looking for it because I bookmarked everything this week so I could find it, but that's the one I can't find. Oh, here we
Yeah.
go. According to Bloody Disgusting, it was an incredible achievement for Heart Eyes at the box office over the weekend, with Valentine's Day Slasher making more money in its second weekend than in its debut. I can look up the article, but it doesn't
Yeah,
say
let's
how
take a look
much.
and see what it did. Now, obviously, this is not making like,
Terrifier
$100 million.
money, yeah.
Yeah, it's not making Terrifier money, but it was a short. I think it's about a $30 million film. Got very good reviews. Opened the week before Thanksgiving. Got a lot of help coming out the following weekend for Thanksgiving, which happened on a weekend. Drew Yari saw that in Companion. Companion is now available, by the way, on streaming to pay for streaming. So that's why I didn't go see it. I'm going to go see The Monkey, which we'll get to in a minute.
All right.
Do we know what it did in terms of money?
Yes, topping, according to Bloody Disgusting, topping its opening weekend domestic haul of 8.3 million. Josh Rubin's Hard Eyes just scared up an additional 10 million in its second
Wow.
weekend at the box office.
Now, this might not seem impressive. Obviously, everybody follows us is very savvy to box office B show, but kind of a big fucking deal. Forget about the dollar for dollar there, but it made like almost 20% more in the preceding weekend than it did in its opening weekend.
Well, that's what I was going to say is, unprecedented is right. It's not the amount that it made. It's the fact that it built from the previous weekend. And I would have figured that with, when was Valentine's Day? The weekend?
Last Friday?
Yeah, maybe
No.
it was.
Well, what's
Was it
today?
2 Fridays ago?
No, today's the 20th.
It
So
was last Friday, yeah.
last Friday. Yeah.
So I can kind of understand that if it was a Valentine's movie, people wanted to get up on the gimmick, but like now, what's it going to do this weekend? It's starting to gain steam. People in chat room are saying it had Scream vibes and that it was really good.
Yeah.
So is this going to be one of those horror movie word of mouth films that like,
Clearly.
okay, even if it doesn't do another 10 million, does it do another 5 or 6 this weekend?
Yeah. I mean, it could stay in theaters and doing a couple million every weekend, and hold over. People who saw it, B show, anybody I know who saw it said two things. One, they really liked it. Two, they were surprised how good it was.
Yeah.
That's fucking good buzz right there.
Yeah, because I was expecting this to be like a Blumhouse version of Scream, the way that it was playing out, and it kind of had the Thanksgiving vibes to it too. That Eli
Thanksgiving,
Roth
yeah, it
movie,
did have Thanksgiving
but
vibes.
people seem to be liking it, and it's not just okay. It's not the usual suspects that are on Twitter saying, "Oh my God, this is the greatest movie ever."
Right.
It's people we know. It's Sam. It's people in the chat room.
Yeah.
It's people we trust who
Yeah.
normally would
Triari
call
said it was
horseshit
good.
out. Yeah.
Yeah, he said it was one of the best horror movies of the year, along with Companion, which sadly I just could not get to, but because the weather here has been abominable, I've been on puppy duty, so but I'm getting back in my swing. But I'm excited to watch Hard Eyes. I will absolutely watch it when it comes to streaming. I'm going to probably pay to watch Companion, possibly this weekend or next weekend. I'm very excited to see that movie. I've heard nothing but incredible things about Companion, but B show, all of that really changes because tonight, as we
Mhm.
speak, Osgood Perkins, fresh off of one of the more impactful horror films, dare we say, in the last couple of years, that being Longlegs, his movie The Monkey, which is getting a big studio push, big time, is opening tonight. The Monkey is the latest in the Stephen King adaptation films from a short story. It is supposedly gory. It is supposedly has a good sense of dark humor, and they are pushing this motherfucker to the moon, dude.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of ads for this. I watched obviously Long Legs again last night, but
Oh
I've been seeing ads for this on TV when my kids are watching streaming or on YouTube, and I'm starting. Okay, hype is starting to trickle out, saying it's crazy shit, it's bad shit, it's
yeah,
violent, it's gory.
jeez,
I'm hoping it's not another Long Legs where people say, "Oh, this is the scariest movie of all time," and it's fine. It
yeah.
looks fun, and I
Supposedly, this is incredibly gory. That's one of the things people say is they were surprised with how bloody and gory and violent it is.
yeah. So I mean, I hope this is another great movie because I'm a huge fan of Osgood Perkins. I watched Long Legs again last night. Is definitely better the second time around. I still do have some issues with it plot wise, but
Long legs?
yeah, some of the plot seems a little bit like some shit like too deliberate. Like some of it happens specifically because something else has to happen,
Right.
but it is woven together so incredibly well. It's shot so well. So much thought went into it, and it's original. It's an original spin on a
How
dated
about that
concept.
fucking cinematography in that score too? Like some of those
Yeah.
wide shots, like that night shot with the moon when they're walking in the cold. Like, and
Mhm.
I'm like, oh, that's a good fucking shot.
It's
How did they
just
get
it
that
gives you
shot?
the feeling that it's a very, voyeuristic feel. Something's always
Yeah.
watching. Someone's always watching, and your eyes are to me, they're looking around like, what's out there?"
Yeah, yeah,
Fucking
there's a lot of
fantastic.
Easter eggs in that movie too
Yeah.
that you cannot catch on one
Yep.
viewing. And even John JLD said the ending made more sense on second watch. Yes, it
Mhm.
does. I said this to B Show last night. I was like, it is definitely more impactful the second time you see it. I was so
Yeah.
grateful that second when I made that decision to see it in the theater second time. Boy, what a vibe change! I was like,
Yeah.
whoa. And B Show, I love the way they use those T-Rex songs.
Oh my god,
Oh,
yes. Dude,
fuck
because I
me.
grew up I didn't have, like, punker shit like you guys. Like, everyone around me, if they listened to alternative-ish or rockish type stuff, it
Yeah,
was all, like, 70s rock or
yeah,
60s rock or classic rock, so
which is cool as fuck.
and, like, hearing, what is it? Bang a Gong or Get It On by T-Rex
Yeah,
and,
yeah. I think
um
Cosmic Dancer might be. There's a three
yeah.
T-Rex songs in there.
Well, and, like, in the fact not to make this, we're talking about Monkey, not to make this about long legs too much, but, like, one thing I like is even if we don't know the whole backstory, when the creator goes to the trouble of creating an entire backstory for someone. So like
Right.
Dale Cobble was a failed 70s glam rocker who fucked up his face with plastic surgery to look pretty
Yeah,
for the
became a
devil.
Satanist. Yeah.
They never tell us that,
But you
but
figure that out, right?
even if not, it just all of that goes into that character, what you see, what he does, how he acts,
Yeah.
and it just makes it so much more interesting.
Also, B show how many times Satan is actually in that movie.
The
Like he's
shadows.
in the back. Yeah.
So like the one I didn't even catch, and
I
I was
never
looking.
caught them. I never caught them. I had to see them online after even watching the
Okay.
movie twice. I'm gonna watch Long Legs over the weekend again, by the way, if I
So,
just
like,
can
there was
squeeze it.
some times where you could see something out the window or off in the distance, but the one that I missed that I loved, and I think might be the best one because it's symbolic, is at the end when she goes to the 13th person. I'm not going to say who it is if you haven't seen the movie.
Yeah.
And the guy looks outside, like anyone out there, and then shuts the door. In the quick the light gleam reflection of the door, you can see the devil. It's
Mhm.
real quick, and I didn't
Yeah.
catch it in the movie theater, but it's like, oh my god,
Yeah,
it
you
just
also see
jumped
one
in.
of the more prominent ones is when the doll dies, when they shoots the doll.
Oh, and the stuff
Yeah.
billows out of it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, that's a prominent one. But, yeah, I'm gonna see The Monkey this weekend. I'm going Saturday. I'm very, very, very excited. And, I'm sure I'll have a lot to say. I'm sure I'll have a lot to say about it next week. I'm excited. I
Mhm.
like that actor. He's from, some Drew Yari pointed out he's, Bastion from, X-Men '97, Theo James. He plays 2 characters in this movie, twin brothers, but I know him really from the Gentleman TV show, which is fucking tremendous, which just got renewed, which is Guy Ritchie's spinoff from the film. It's loosely affiliated, but it's completely different. I'm super excited to see The Monkey. I want it to put me on my ass, as far as that goes.
I wish I was going this weekend, but I can't make it.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to squeeze it out. I got it's been so cold and miserable here. There's ice you just can't
Mhm.
walk up the block. I need to get the fuck out of here. I really do. But I'm gonna check out the Monkey. But we picked some cool trailers. There was a bunch of trailers that came out. That like so many, they just keep dropping. There's a lot of horror trailers that are dropping. There's a big Netflix movie we're going to talk about in a little bit. But we just picked a couple here to go over with you guys, and then we have a pretty action packed post show for those of you in the Patreon at patreon.com/spitballmedia. Bisho, I think the first trailer we have is "Bring Her Back." Um,
Here it is.
this trailer just came out this week. I love that title. That sounds like a song I would have written in like the mid '90s, late '90s.
It's very poetic. It is. And, whether it's about, zombies or returning from the dead, or if
Or
it's
or,
you
or
know
a side piece that you want to get back with.
what is it, a gumar? Is that the preferred
We call it a
nomenclature?
gumar. A gumar. That's you have to be married to have a
Oh,
gumar, but
you know what? There's actually a B-52 song, "Give Me Back My Man." It's not the
no.
same, but
Oh,
somewhat
I know
similar.
that song. That's a slow song, right? I think
Not
so.
really.
I think so. I'm thinking of that other song. It's like one of their old songs that's really slow, and just one of them is just screaming her fucking brains out.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Yeah, like da, 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 da. I remember hearing the B-52s as a little kid.
Mhm.
Anyway, this is from the directors of Talk to Me. This is not a sequel to Talk to Me. This is their follow up. Now there is a sequel to Talk to Me 2, the second one. But Bisha, this trailer just dropped. I had no idea these two brothers were doing a movie outside of the sequel to Talk to Me. So this is kind of a big fucking deal. This is called Bring Her Back. We're gonna take a quick look at it right now. It's a movie about cats.
Okay, A24 on the bowl.
So these are the brothers who directed Talk to Me.
How's your volume over there?
Perfect. Oh God, look at this. Oh boy.
Jesus Christ.
Oh boy.
What a great
Hey, good.
the way that was framed was fantastic.
Look at these shots.
I'm getting long legs kind of vibe.
What the fuck?
Holy shit.
He's gonna bring it back. He's gonna bring it back. Are you in there?
What the fuck is this?
Holy shit.
What did we
Okay.
just watch?
Okay, let's go there.
Oh,
I hope everyone saw that. Can you look this up? My brain is on fire. I purposely didn't watch it because when I saw whose movie it was, I was like, "Oh, Shaheen's gonna go crazy," because he loves he remembers these guys from they were making fucking
mhm.
YouTube videos, and this is one of we thought this was one of the better horror films, absolutely in the last 10 years, no question. B show, what the fuck is this?
I'm trying to find a good synopsis, but according to IMDb, a brother and sister uncover a terrifying ritual at a secluded home of their new foster mother.
Oh my god, yo. Ah, I love that they're being so ambiguous about
Oh
this
my
fucking
god.
plot. Yo, that trailer is bananas, man.
Like, I couldn't tell if they're trying to, like, resurrect something through, like, possession or bring someone back from the dead. Ah,
I I love that they're not. And by the way, We didn't know this movie existed 2 minutes ago. We didn't know that the brothers team there. I just presumed the next film they had was the Talk to Me sequel. They're obviously doing one. It is Drew's asking, is it Australia like Talk to Me? No, this has nothing to do with Talk to Me. It's just the directors. And they may have wrote this too. I think they may have written Talk to Me. I'm not 100%.
Dude, I'm telling you what, I'm glad they didn't just rest on, okay, let's do Talk to Me too.
Yeah, they'd be
This
like,
is-
if they were Americans, there'd be 5 of them right now.
Oh yeah, of course. It would be the Paranormal Activity all over again. But this looks completely different.
Oh
You
my
don't know what
God.
the fuck's going on. Like now I want to go on Reddit and do a deep dive and see what this is all about.
Oh yeah, Drew. I assume it takes place in Australia. They don't shoot in the States or anything like that.
Joe Punches, good thing. I was thinking about that during the trailer. I like the way that one shot where you see the room and we're looking through the viewfinder of a digital camera.
Yes.
It's almost like like almost like we can see the ghost or symbolic
Don't know.
for someone who's not there.
They're not giving us shit.
I want more, dude. I want more. Right
Bisho, that might be, honestly, I'm not even joking, because if Shaheen was here, he'd be fucking barreling over.
Mhm.
That might be my favorite trailer since Long Legs. I'm like since we've been doing the show.
Yeah, and I think I was gonna say, but like I was speechless by the time the trailer was over. Like I'm getting Long Legs vibes from the cinematography, from the way it's shot, to the contrast, to like what we're seeing, to being shown stuff that we don't necessarily understand.
Right.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
John JLD. I don't have any words after that.
Yeah,
trailer, just take my money.
I that fucked me up. I purposely saved that. No, as soon as I saw who it was, I was like, oh no, we got to watch this with the show. But man, Shaheen pissed. Shaheen's getting pissed. Of course he would. We wish he was here. I'm blown away. I'm on. I would have been invested with those guys anyway because they made a fucking killer movie.
Yeah.
But
and we didn't talk about this. I don't think we're going to talk about it on the free. But I'm glad those guys were able to use social media to get noticed. Because there was the Ethan Hawke and his daughter talking about how, and I get it. You don't want an influencer to get cast in a movie, or a movie to be make or break whether it gets financing on how many social media followers it has. But social media allowed those guys who were supremely talented to gain a following, gain an audience, and now give us great shit like this. So
yeah, I mean, it's kind of a unique circumstance. But how else would they have made it? They might not have made it otherwise. So I'm grateful for that. This movie is so on my fucking radar right now, dude. Like, honestly, I'm
fucking true.
Like,
Shah's camera would be wet after this trailer.
Oh my fucking God, yo. Oh,
you just slowly see his desk rise up as he fucking got harder and harder.
Well, honestly, that reminds me of the first time I saw Long Legs. And I'm sure we're going to get a lot more from this as time progresses. This is just a teaser they dropped yesterday. Very little fanfare over it. But as we get closer to that summer release date, B-Show, we're going to be seeing some high impact, fucked up shit from this movie.
And I hope it's like Long Legs, where the ad campaign is giving you teases and tastes, but not telling you everything.
Good. Maybe that's the marketing
yeah.
strategy. We could call this episode the new Long Legs ? I could be. Anyway, we have another trailer. Now, this is based on a very popular video game. I'm not familiar with it, but they made a feature of it. People are already angry about it. And whenever they do these video game movies or video game adaptations, there's always there's always people that get very pissy because, just like we do with certain comic properties and we do with other things in wrestling and we do with horror and sci-fi, we get very attached. I am completely detached from Until Dawn. I vaguely have heard of it. I'm sure the chat is going to check me in 2 seconds, but they did make a feature film. I honestly don't know enough about the source material. Bisho, have you ever heard of this game? It was apparently a very popular game.
No, I've not heard of this at all.
Yeah, it was released in 2015, and then they did a remake for the PS5 in 2024. It's about a bunch of friends return to a lodge every year after 2 of them went missing and must fight for survival. So this is the film version. It's coming out this year. It is called Until Dawn, and I'm sure if you've played the game in the chat, you're gonna be all over this.
I can't.
Please, no!
Nice. The
Not a bad
PlayStation.
start.
Up the road, there's a place stuck in time.
I recognize this actor's voice.
Okay, I see. It's kind of trapped in time. That makes.
What is that?
Stuck in time.
Every time we die, we find ourselves back here again.
Stuck in time.
But
Oh,
the
it's
night
cool.
is never
Cool
the
premise.
same.
Yeah.
They get killed by different monsters, different things every time.
We're here again.
Stuck in time.
But the
Oh, wow,
night
this
is
is coming
never
out
the
soon.
same.
AHS 84 had a similar
Every night
premise
something new is
to
trying to kill
those.
us.
Yeah.
We're here again.
Interesting, at least.
Trying to kill us.
Yeah.
What is that?
Whoa.
What?
How many
wanna
monsters
survive.
are there?
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
We have to
Oh,
make it
boy.
until dawn. I want out. Until dawn. Please let me out. Have to make it until dawn.
You know who that is?
Yeah, it's a French actor.
We have to make it until dawn.
They're coming. Up the road. That's where people get into trouble.
Yeah, isn't that the guy from oh fuck.
It's
I'll-
Satan in Constant.
Yes,
Yeah,
yeah.
he's amazing. I think that looks fucking cool as shit. Now, if people in the chat who have played the game, let us know because I don't know. Like I said, I know it was a popular game, but Bisho, I think that looks cool as fuck.
I can see why people might think it's kind of corny, like just from the gimmicky aspect of it and the different killers and stuff.
Right.
But I don't think it looks bad. I would see it. Like I don't know if I'd go to the theaters and see it. I'd probably wait till it's on streaming.
Drew's saying it's not the game at all, but you know, it looks like it's loosely based on it. As far as that goes, yeah. I mean, I love the title. That's the German actor from the. Oh, he actually is in the original game. Yeah, he's German. I thought he was French. He was also in. He's in a lot. He was in like the new. That was it. The New Gods or whatever.
He was the guy in Armageddon.
He's in a lot.
Medic component.
Well,
production
actually, doesn't
component.
he kill
Yeah.
Steve Buscemi in Fargo?
Oh, he
yeah.
might.
He kills Steve Buscemi in Fargo. Not a young guy, but he's mostly known for a lot of things. But he's known primarily to a lot of people as playing Lucifer in the Constantine movie, which many people, B-Show, have said is possibly the greatest Lucifer of all time in a movie of all time.
Oh
Like,
yeah.
the greatest devil, the greatest version of the Satan ever in the history of any movie that's ever had Satan.
Yeah, I mean, but with the suit and everything and being more
Oh.
suave, it kind of reminds me of De Niro. Fucking
Well, De Niro played Lucifer in Angel Heart. He was pretty good in it, actually.
no, I'm thinking fuck Lomax, Mr. Lomax,
Mr. Lomax. Oh, why does that sound so familiar?
Devil's Advocate,
Oh, hey, yeah, oh, yeah, Al Pacino.
Al Pacino. There we go. Couldn't think of his name. So he
Yeah.
reminds me kind of. I like that too, where it's a slick. Kevin, you brought this on yourself.
Yeah,
That was almost a Peter Griffin. Holy shit.
a little bit.
I like that kind of style.
I'll
demo
swallow
where-
your show. I'm sorry. What are you gonna say?
It's all right. Hey, Brian. Hey, Peter. Did you
Say
just
you love
swallow that
Satan,
guy's
Lois.
whole-
Lois, say you love Satan, Lois.
Jesus Christ.
That'd be great. Like Peter Griffin is actually Satan,
Mhm.
and he was like, "You didn't see this coming, did you?" You know,
Why do you think I was allowed to stay on the street all this
Yeah.
time?
Hail Satan. Dude, I don't care. Like, I never played the game. I don't give a fuck. But it
Mhm.
looks cool. I like the premise. If it's R rated, I don't know if it's R rated. That looks like it needs to be R rated.
I like the shots of the people being drugged like into the graves and all that shit. Like,
Yeah.
look, man, sometimes I like not being into a certain scene because I can just enjoy it for what it is, and I don't
Right.
have to worry about it being, faithful to the source material.
Exactly.
as
Yeah,
it
but
is.
we are. But you know that we are those people.
Oh,
So that's-
yeah. Dude, I used to get pissed when people got called up from Ring of Honor and they didn't.
That's
hold
what I'm
them
saying.
steady,
Like
you know?
the amount of shit that I've done
Yeah.
comic book wise alone. Forget about anything else wrestling. The comic shit I've said publicly that I've
Oh,
had
yeah.
problems with. Even tonight, I have done a Cleveland Brown before. I haven't heard the voice in a while. No. But I haven't seen Family Guy like 20 years. But
Yeah.
I love Stewie. He's like one of my all time favorites. But
Brian,
yeah.
is the fat man now the devil?
dude, I remember when I got my temporary fake teeth, like a bunch of years ago, and I came home and the kids were like, "This is really weird." And Violet just looks at me. She goes, you look like Brian the dog when he got his fake teeth. Like, and I was like, fuck you. And I thought that. But look, I'll check that out. I think it looks fun. The actor's name, I think, is Peter Stormare or something like that. Great voice. He's very scruffy. But if you've never seen him, don't even watch Constantine. Just fucking YouTube the Constantine Lucifer scene, and you'll just be like, this is the greatest thing I've ever seen. It's like the greatest fucking shit ever. Like, and I saw that in a movie theater. And by the way, my brother Mike is a Constantine like devotee. He is a huge fan of the character of from the comics and stuff like that. Hellblazer, John Constantine, and he was furious at that movie because it was so different. But I was like, yo, that Satan shit though was pretty dope. Like,
and it's a lot of cool shit about that.
Oh yeah, the Gabriel character was incredible. The Papa Midnight was incredible.
I was just gonna say that voodoo character was
Papa Midnight, fucking incredible, incredible. And it got me reading the books. Actually, the books are, if you ever read the old Vertigo Hellblazer, the Glenn Fabry covers, phenomenal. You can't go wrong there. But we have one last trailer. This is kind of an interesting trailer. This is a De Niro movie called 0 Day that's just about to hit Netflix, or it's going to hit Netflix soon. I'm not going to listen. There's something very odd about this movie that's getting a lot of attention. Let's just watch the trailer and let's see if you guys pick up on it as quickly as some other people have. And they are doing Constantine too. It looks like that is happening, by the way.
Oh, thank God. Hopefully he's not too old for the stuntsy kind of shit, but
yeah, hopefully. Well, I mean, he's at the end of the day, he's the man. All right, so this is called 0 Day, coming to Netflix, starring Robert De Niro and an all-star cast.
3,402 people died on 0 Day.
Absolute nationwide terror.
Computer systems completely hijacked.
A significant number of casualties.
Every phone in America displayed the same haunting message. This will happen again.
Wow. It's a limited series.
Mom,
okay.
Thanks for coming.
Madam President, so what's the plan?
Congress is authorizing a special 0 Day commission, hunting down anyone who aided and abetted this horrific attack.
You're just gonna grab people off the streets without warrants.
Actually,
okay.
Yep.
you are.
This is the greatest affront to civil liberties ever.
All right, you see what I'm saying, Bijo?
Ex-President George Mullen is not only a wannabe tyrant, he's a deeply troubled man. I'm on to you, Georgie.
Sir,
is that Dan Stevens
going on here that you're not telling me
Oh,
about?
shit. He's on Ozempic. Tell that dude.
Prove to me you are of sound mind, or I will tell the country that you are not.
If the mob storms the castle and comes for all of our heads,
Oh my God. Come on.
everyone's gonna be in trouble.
Do you think he's being set up?
Another attack could happen at any moment.
I'm worried that you don't have this under control.
Is he producing this?
But I run this investigation, not the White House, not the CIA.
If the public finds out how deep this really is, I don't think we survive that.
Okay. By the way, this is a fantastic cast. Now, a couple of things. I recognize, as you all probably do, this is very on the nose. Okay. But this was in production for a very long time. This is not a movie that just got shot yesterday. This was in pre-production for years. Years. But Bisho, the timing, weird, right?
Well, that's why I asked if Robert De Niro was producing this, because he's been very, very like hard in the paint, challenging Trump, like
for a long time now. Yeah, for 8 years now.
So, like, I don't know. Like, here's the thing, man. I'm getting so sick of hearing discourse about the Orange Man bad shit, and I'm not a fan.
Yeah.
But I'm so sick of this discourse that, like, I don't even want to bring myself to say certain shit, but like,
yeah, it's an ill-timed circumstance. Like, it's just a weird circumstance. It's just weird
and it's
that this is
doubling
coming out
down
right now.
It's like at a time when, like, okay, the guy was elected, so obviously not everyone in the country thinks he's Satan. So to do a movie like this right now,
right?
It's just weird time. It's almost like
I'm trying to find when this, because there was somebody wrote. Now, by the way, I don't know how accurate this is, so please bear with me.
All right.
My understanding is De Niro was the president in the movie, and please give me some grace here if I'm wrong. I read today that he was a president who got removed because he had dementia, so the black female vice president stepped in to become the president. Now, I don't know how accurate this is.
Wow. Well, no, because the premise that you sent me said not only does he have to try to like figure out who's bad, but
Yeah.
he can't trust his own memory.
Because he has dementia. It's fucking crazy. I
Okay,
mean,
so
like,
that's kind of funny. If they're gonna go that route and not if they're gonna put someone like him
it's
in
wild, dude. It's
and
a
have him
wild
play like
thing
a
to come
kind
out.
of a Trump autocratic type of dude, but then also mix in the dementia shit like
Yeah, and
that.
Chris Matthews is saying what I saw too. This has been in the works for years. This is not something they just made up 3 months ago and shot a fucking $100 million thing. But it's a weird time thing. It's very odd that it's mirroring a lot of not only what's kind of going on now with authoritarianism and blah, 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 but also the president has dementia, so the black female vice president was zipping. It's a very on the nose.
But if this has been in the works for a while, how did they know the president had dementia?
They just wrote it. It's years. It's years. I don't know. This happens.
See,
sometimes.
okay,
I don't
here's
know.
where I put my Alex Jones tinfoil hat on.
Go ahead, tell him.
All right, so not only do they have Wolf Blitzer and CNN starring in this movie,
The fake news media. The fake news media is in the fake news movie
with the frog dicks and everything. Like that's what I'm saying is like if you're a conspiracy theorist and you're okay, it's De Niro, and they're talking about how the president has dementia, and it's CNN involvement, and this has been in the works for years.
Years. It's strange. It's a strange thing. I don't know. And they also said, by the way, some reviews said it's terrible. They said it's just a bloated cast with not a lot going on. I like movies like this. I like limited series. I'm going to totally check it out. But, it is a little an odd time thing. It's kind of like Brave New World was an odd time thing where apparently there was all this other international stuff that was happening in the movie that they took right the fuck out.
Yeah.
Because of the war overseas and the Ukraine and then the Middle East. And it's like, and some like John JLD pointed out, The Simpsons has predicted the future hundreds of times accidentally, but I don't know. De Niro must owe somebody some money because I ain't never seen no 80-year-old fucking work like this, man. Like, I mean,
I don't know, man. You know dudes like this probably who they're just
that owe
driven.
people a lot of money. Yes, I do. Bish.
Yeah, that owe people.
I know a lot of dudes.
I mean, like, there's people that are just. It's like the Vince McMahon thing. He's driven, and he's only going to stop when he's dead.
Yeah.
And there's like this weird manifest destiny where they feel like the urge to where they.
Meanwhile, guys like your age and my age are ready to stop now. Like if you could, you'd stop today and not look back. Like you just be like, I'm giving everything up to relax and take care of my family. Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm gonna check it out.
I'm gonna
totally
buy 6 acres and some pigs and some cows. And
I like Connie Britton there. I like Jesse Plemons, which is funny because they're both from the Friday Night Lights TV show. I thought that might have been Dan Stevens as the Alex Jones character. I could be wrong. Angela Bassett, huge fan. Love Angela Bassett. She plays the president there. There's some other people in it. I'm going to check it out. We'll see what's up. He said the development started in November 2022. None of the shit that's in that movie was on the radar though for 2022-ish.
But that's what I'm saying. That's again, if tuning into that conspiracy theory world, that's what they look for. It's like, okay, this was started years ago.
Yeah.
They're saying the president has dementia.
Biden seemed way more competent in 2022 though. Like he did. Like,
but that's what I'm saying. Is like, how much did they know, and how much did they work into the story, and why was this in development for so long? Did they have to halt it because this shit started becoming more evident? I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, maybe it was. I mean, look, it's a strange thing. I don't know. Like, look, that Civil War movie came out.
Yeah.
Right. Like,
I'm just pushing buttons.
It was like,
I'm just
everybody thought it was like, oh, this is like January 6th, and I'm like, I don't think they did this about January 6th. Like, and then I saw it. But I'm gonna check it out. Of course, I'm gonna check it out. I like a lot of people in it. I love De Niro's work. He's kind of a weird dude with a fucking strange bug up his ass. But I'm gonna check it out. Fuck it. I'm gonna check it out. I have a feeling it's a bloated mess. Like they said, it's just too many big names and everybody's doing busy shit and it's not a cohesive story.
Well, and that's the thing I got from it too, was that it's very layered and you don't know how deep the conspiracy goes.
Yeah. Would it be funny if De Niro is actually like he has dementia, but he's the one who did all this and he just doesn't remember? That's
probably what it is.
That'd be a cool plot line. I would like that. I think that's great. I think like he becomes the thing that he was rallying against the whole time.
Dude, I can hear the song music playing as you say that. Dun, 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 dun. Yeah.
No, but I'm saying like if he like and then like you don't really get that to the very, very end. And then like, like and then it's like, oh wait, I did this. Like, I don't know. I just think that's a cool way to go. That's probably
No.
not the way they're gonna go though. But
No, there's no way. There's no way.
no,
I can
please, it
see that.
wasn't me. What like yeah, like it wasn't me. And that's like, oh, it was you. Anyway, we have a ton of stuff to get to in the post show. Please consider going to patreon.com/spitballmedia. $5 a month. You can get in there now. Next month we'll have the Q&A. We have the Don Stoney episode we're doing next weekend. Part 2, the Don Stoney I guess it's his solo show essentially, as far as that goes. B Show
This or
just
that.
dropped a solo show. This or that. B Show just dropped a solo show. That you got to check out. I think you dropped it yesterday, right, B Show?
I put it up Monday or Tuesday overnight. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I put it up over Monday night because I got my new
Over Monday
computer
night.
Tuesday.
Okay. And please consider going to patreon.com/spitballmedia. Thank you to everybody who's been contributing to the Patreon. Give it as a gift. If you got a holiday coming up or something like that, and please hit that like and subscribe button. Let's plug our pals. Let's plug Deathmatch Outlaws. Let's plug the Rich Dow. Hey now, Rich Dow. He's got a podcast. And of course, the Drew Yari Experience, Cassette Classics 86 on YouTube, the Down on the Thundercast, excuse me, Don, Tony, and Kevin Castilli. Necromaniacs podcast. I think they just did a look at Clute, the famous movie Clute. The Human Experience podcast. My friends Ringside is Wrestling on YouTube's coming back. You got Mojo and Dirk's Most Dastardly Show. The Old Guy Metalcast is on there. The Garden of Doom. We got MJW Games. Cherry Jesus and his band Kaiser. Red River podcast and our good friend Sam Hoyos' band Playing Dead. I got to check in with Sam. I've talked to him in a bit. The Bayou Geeks. That is Fateh 316. And of course, the High Mox podcast, the Midnight Mass Creature Cast. Weekly Detour with Anthony, Alston, and Teddy, and the Guns and Geeks podcast. Make sure you hit that subscribe for Planet Mondo. That's Shah's channel. It regrets that he could not be here this evening. And of course, the B Show Brian channel. Anything we want to tell the people?
I'm going to be recording episodes regularly again. I was going to start this week, and then everyone in my house got sick, including me. So, and then I sat down, which is why I have a new computer, to record some stuff on Sunday night, and my computer screen was completely dead.
Good Lord.
So,
John JLD said he just listened to Red River podcast. Yeah, Sam does a great show on there. I did a couple of episodes on. I did a 2-parter on there. I told my whole musical history a bunch of years ago. So if you never heard that, it's in their archive there. And then I also did we reviewed some things once. Sam and I are going to do a podcast where we talk about songs we wish we wrote. We're going to try to get that done. I'm excited to do that. I'm not songs that we love and not songs we wish that we wrote. Which is there's a very different experience when you hear that.
Yeah.
Only when you hear that, talk about B Show, when you hear that riff or you hear that line and you go, oh, I could have wrote that fucking song. I wish I wrote that fucking song. So we've been having that on deck for a while. We'll try to do it in the spring. And the Don Stoney, yes, This Is Hardcore podcast. Joe Hardcore, the famous Joe Hardcore, blessed me there not that long ago to be on there. He's a good friend of mine. He's a good friend of my family for many years. Of course, my brother's record, the Shutdown album's out now. You want to check that out. They're touring like crazy. I'm going to be out that big Shutdown show with Fishbone and Scream in March in Brooklyn. We'll be out there chilling. That's going to be a wild weekend with the boys in Shutdown. But thank you guys for supporting everything. We're going to head over on the old Patreon. Shah sends his regrets and his love, and we'll see you guys next week on the regular show.